Did you know that our planet is under constant threat of volcanic eruptions? And not just any volcanoes, but some that are much more dangerous than the world-famous Yellowstone National Park volcano. These hidden giants have the potential to trigger global chaos if they were to erupt, posing a risk far greater than Yellowstone could ever offer. So what are these ticking time bombs and why do they pose such a significant danger? That's what we're going to talk about today. Yellowstone National Park is home to one of the world's largest supervolcanoes, which has understandably earned its reputation for being one of the most dangerous volcanoes on Earth. But it turns out that this isn't the only supervolcano in the world. In fact, there are several others that could potentially cause even more damage than Yellowstone. It all starts with a little-known volcano located deep within the Atlantic Ocean. It may not be as well known as its counterparts in places like Hawaii or Italy, but it poses a unique threat to the entire globe. This underwater giant known as the Tamu Massif is so massive that scientists classify it as an ultramafic volcano, and while it may not be spewing lava anytime soon, its sheer size means that when it erupts, the consequences will be felt worldwide. Volcanoes are rated based on their height, with mountains rising at least 600 feet or 183 meters above the ocean floor qualifying as volcanoes. Anything over 2,000 feet or 610 meters becomes a mountain, and anything over 492 feet or 150 meters is considered a large mountain. Tamu Massif rises nearly 1.6 miles or 2.6 kilometers above the ocean floor. But what makes this volcano so unique is its composition. Unlike other volcanoes made up mostly of lightweight basalt, Tamu Massif is made of ultramafic rock, which is almost twice as dense. Because of this, the volcano has a huge mass, estimated to weigh about 100 trillion tons, making it the heaviest known volcano on Earth. Scientists believe that Tamu Massif is actually two separate volcanoes that merged to form one massive structure. The combined force of these two ancient eruptions was so powerful that they reshaped the landscape of the northwest Pacific Ocean, creating a vast mountain range known as the Shatsky Rise. While this may sound impressive, it also comes with a terrifying caveat. Because of its enormous size, the collapse of Tamu Massif would trigger a series of earthquakes around the Pacific Ring of Fire, potentially leading to a devastating tsunami. If this were to happen, coastal communities across the Pacific would be wiped off the map, causing widespread devastation and loss of life. Adding to the danger, unlike many other volcanoes, Tamu Massif has no clear signs of activity, making it difficult to predict when or even if it might erupt. It is not currently considered an active volcano because it hasn't erupted in the last 10,000 years. However, scientists have found evidence that it could awaken again at any time. It's like having a sleeping giant that could suddenly wake up and cause widespread destruction without any warning. As if this wasn't enough, the sheer scale of Tamu Massif means that even if it doesn't completely collapse, an eruption could still have global consequences. When it comes to the impact of volcanic eruptions, size matters, and Tamu Massif is a big boy. A typical volcanic eruption releases between 0.1 and 1 cubic kilometer of ash, but Tamu Massif could erupt with over 1,000 cubic kilometers of material. To put that into perspective, the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines in 1991 released about 5 cubic kilometers of material. A larger eruption at Mount Vesuvius, which destroyed the Roman city of Pompeii in 79 AD, released about 20 cubic kilometers of material. Even the massive eruption of Krakatoa in Indonesia in 1883, which is considered one of the deadliest natural disasters in history, only released about 200 cubic kilometers of material. In comparison, Tamu Massif could erupt with over 5,000 times the amount of material, unleashing a torrent of debris and ash that would blot out the sun and plunge the world into darkness for months. And the effects wouldn't stop there. A major eruption at Tamu Massif would send shockwaves around the globe, triggering earthquakes and volcanic activity all over the place. It could potentially lead to the collapse of other volcanoes, including those located near human settlements. The reason for this is simple. Volcanic eruptions are often linked to seismic activity along fault lines. When magma chambers are emptied during an eruption, the overlying crust can suddenly subside, causing the ground to shake. These earthquakes can occur before, during, and after an eruption, and can sometimes be just as damaging as the eruption itself. So if Tamu Massif were to erupt, it could potentially trigger a chain reaction of seismic activity around the world, leading to multiple volcanic eruptions in quick succession. Now let's move on to another volcano that could pose a serious threat to our planet. The Campi Flegrei caldera located near Naples, Italy is a supervolcano that has the potential to cause widespread devastation. Despite being relatively unknown outside of Italy, it's actually one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world. If it were to erupt, the blast radius would extend for up to 100 miles or 161 kilometers, obliterating everything in its path. This means that iconic landmarks like the Colosseum and the Trevi Fountain would be completely destroyed, along with much of Rome itself. Even worse, this eruption would be so powerful that it could potentially trigger a volcanic winter. Volcanic winters occur when the ash and gases released by a volcanic eruption block the sun's rays, causing temperatures to plummet and crops to fail. This could lead to famine and widespread death on a global scale. Despite the danger it poses, the Campi Flegrei caldera is home to a number of active craters and is constantly monitored by scientists. It's located close to one of the world's busiest airports, making it even more dangerous. And while there have been no signs of major activity in recent years, scientists are still concerned about its potential to erupt. Adding to the danger, millions of people live within the blast radius of Campi Flegrei, making it one of the most densely populated volcanic regions in the world. In the event of a major eruption, thousands or even millions of lives would be lost, along with billions of dollars worth of property. Now let's look at another volcano that could spell disaster for our planet. La Garita Caldera, located in the Sangre de Cristo mountain range in Colorado, is a supervolcano that dwarfs even Yellowstone in terms of size. Its enormous crater is over 500 times larger than the one at Yellowstone, making it one of the largest known volcanic features on Earth. If it were to erupt, the blast would cover hundreds of thousands of square miles, wiping out all life in its path. And while there have been no signs of activity in recent years, scientists are still concerned about its potential to erupt. Unlike many other volcanoes on this list, La Garita has only been identified in recent years. In fact, it was discovered by accident when researchers were studying the nearby Rio Grande Rift. They noticed that the area had a magnetic anomaly, which indicated the presence of a massive magma chamber beneath the surface. Further analysis revealed the presence of a gigantic caldera that had formed during a massive eruption millions of years ago. Because La Garita is so remote, there are no known active faults near the caldera, meaning that there is no way for scientists to accurately predict its behavior. This makes it one of the most unpredictable volcanoes in the world and a potential ticking time bomb. If you enjoyed learning about these incredibly powerful volcanoes, stay tuned for more videos. Also, please consider supporting us. Thank you for watching.